that is represented in Shakespeare's Henry IV. Okay, the title Henry IV is the king of England. He nurses guilty feelings about having won the throne during the Civil War that deposed the former king Richard II. And then he decided to start to initiate a crusade, but was postponed because of the rebellious acts later. Okay, and Prince Hal, also known as the Prince Hal. Prince Harry is son of Henry IV. And of course, you can also regard him as the real protagonist in the play. Okay, although he spends all his time hanging around highwaymen, robbers, and poles, he has secret plans to transform himself into a normal prince, and his regal qualities emerge as the play unfolds. He compares himself to the sun. The sun may be clouded by darkness temporarily, but someday he will see it again. And Hotspur is the opponent to the prince and the king. He is a member of the powerful Percy family of the north. And Falstaff, yeah, John Falstaff is a funny guy. He's a...
That Majesty might never get endure of the frontier of a servant's brow.
Yeah, the King Henry is annoyed because they refuse to send the prisoners.
We will send for you. What about?
And Hotspur.
In your Highness' name demanded, which Harry Percy here at Hornton took. As he says, not with such strength denied as is delivered to your Majesty. In a topping tale. I grieve with my patience. Answer neglecting me.
Actually, they want to keep the prisoners as their own.
To see him shine so brisk and smell so sweet, and talk so like
Okay, so here,
What is it that carries you away?
she is Hotspur's wife.
Mad-headed ape. A weasel had not such a thing as
Her name is Kate. K-A-T-E.
I fear my brother Mortimer doth stir about this title, and send for you to lie this enterprise. If you go...
So far afoot I shall be willing.
Answer me directly to this question as I ask. Your face will break my little finger, Harry, on it.
Okay, the finger, the little finger. What, you know, is a metaphor. A little finger means the man's
we must have bloody noses and cracked crowns and
Get a woman. No, no, for I well believe thou wilt not utter what thou dost not know.
Okay, so this is a very interesting conversation. I trust you and I know you're loyal to me, but I don't trust any woman. A woman will not reveal anything that is unknown to her. The argument about usually they talk about friendship and the plea for mercy from the standpoint of dramatic intensity. Which one of these subjects, in your view, is the most important issue in this play? Yeah.
In my view, I think that the story is important in this way because if the contract had been clearly written, the usury don't have to have any trouble in it. I think that's it.
Usury has
Write the contract to Antonio, and if he write clearly about the contract and also know about the law of the country, he won't get any problem or trouble in it.
And what about the friendship and the mercy? What is your argument or your viewpoint of the representation of mercy in this play?
I think it's not like mercy because it is all the money and the problem is all just because of the contract they don't write clearly, so it causes about the problem.
Okay.
Being in a more depressed state of mind, I think most of the time people in that state are usually more indifferent to events that happen, which is also what causes people to be more suicidal sometimes when they're depressed. And as a result, most of the events throughout his life, even when he first found out he lost his ship and couldn't pay back Shylock, he didn't have a strong reaction generally throughout most of the story for that reason, because whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing that affects them, when you're in a state where you're depressed, you don't go that far up or that far down. Things are kind of just mellow. It's not really like, things don't affect you. So even when he heard that he's going to be in pain and potentially die, it's not the end of the world for him. It's not the worst thing in the world because nothing is really that bad and nothing can really be that good. So I think he accepted it as just, that's just what's going to happen. It's fine because his mentality at that point just doesn't react strongly to events that occur.
Yeah, Rick, did you get that?
The setting of the play occurs around 16th century in Venice, Italy. The location at the time was a very popular spot for shipment and trading of goods because of the water surrounding the city. And its location made it really easy to access both the eastern and the western parts of Europe. Here's a really rough timeline of events that kind of skips over most of the story. But in general, in the beginning, a character named Bassanio wants a loan, but he has to obtain it from a Jewish merchant or a Jewish loaner from with the name Shylock. And the only way that he would guarantee the loan is if Antonio agreed that if the money was not paid back in time, then he will have to cut out a pound of his own physical flesh, like a part of his body that weighs a pound, and in return for payment if he could not pay the money back in time. Later on, Antonio suffered some large losses due to some of his ships being wrecked, so he was not able to get the money back. And there was a plan involving other characters and other people to help in the legal process to try and prevent Shylock from seeking the actual pound of flesh. And in the end, after everything was resolved, Shylock ends up converting to Christianity and having to forfeit his assets. I'll explain more of that in detail later. But it's a really strange ending relative to how the story begins. Okay? And I will introduce some of the key characters in the story as well. The first one I will introduce is Bassanio. He is an aristocrat, basically a high-class member of society with a lot of money in the past. But in the moment of the story, he did not have much money at all. Okay. Here I will read a quote by Shylock, which I thought of the quotes I found were quite interesting. I am a Jew, have not a Jew eyes, have not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions, fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? Shylock here voices off his frustrations from facing prejudice from Christian people in Venice at the time.